Yes, man. Well, it's definitely a changing environment because on the outs you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. There may be some consequences, but you can still do whatever. But in here, you wake up, they tell you when you can go to the bathroom, when you have to eat, when you can rec, and when you go to sleep, when you wake up. And it sucks because they make you wake up like 4:30 in the morning. Some of the staff do, but we really supposed to get up at 5:30. Like today, we got woke up at like 4:30, and I have a job though, so because I took the GED test. So I stay on the unit a lot more than everybody else does. Well, they go to school, I'm on the unit and I read and stuff. But it's really ain't a place to be. You know, it's different, and especially if your family don't live close and they can't come see you, and you can only visit certain days of the week.
So from the time you wake up, what's the schedule like? You wake up and then what?
Well, we wake up and then we go outside in the day room and we watch maybe the news for a while. Then we go to eat and we come back and get ready for school. And then for the people at school, they go to school probably until 11 something maybe. And they come back and then we go to lunch. And then they go back to the unit and they'll go back to school, go to school for a while, and come back. And then we'll wait till dinner. Then after dinner, as soon as we eat, dining hall, we go to recreation, which is in the education building. And then we'll come back from there and we'll probably take showers, have our snack, and then we'll go to bed.
And it's the same thing?
Every day.
Tell me about how hard that is to deal with when you're 18 years old and want to be out.
Well, it's hard because, you know, when I first got here, it was a lot harder. But I think it's even a little harder when you get used to it because, you know, you have that in your mind that you're used to being locked up. And then I don't think that's right.
I've heard people tell me before about becoming institutionalized. Can you explain kind of what that means?
Well, I think there's a kid recently who he's been here in DOC for about 3 years, and he's told me he don't want to go home. You know, he don't want to go home. He's always getting in trouble. He does all kinds of stupid stuff, and I think that's being institutionalized, where you don't care about going home, even though your family wants you home. You don't care. You're willing to stay here. And I feel sorry for people who are like that.
Has he talked to you at all about why?
No. Every time somebody asks, he gets all defensive.
What would you say the biggest difference is from being on the outside and being here? What are the hardest things of all about being here?
Well, the freedom on the outs, you know, like I said, you can do whatever. And here, I'm 18. I'm a man in my opinion, and they have to tell me when I eat, when I can go to the restroom, you know, when I go to sleep, and I don't like that.
So what brought you here in the first place?
Well, what happened is me and someone else got into a fight. And I told them to leave, and they wouldn't leave the house. So I went to my grandpa's room. I know he has a gun in the top drawer, so I grabbed it. And it was Colt 45 1911. I went outside and I told him to leave, and he went, and so I shot at him.
Was this a family member?
No. It was a so-called friend, but, you know, we have our times. But, yeah, I'm in here because I got charged with reckless endangerment and aiming a firearm. Yeah, I've been in and out of juvenile, but I've never been to DOC, and I've been in placements like there's a place in the south side of Indianapolis called Resource. And I've been there. I've been to Palo Vista, Jabal, Meadows, CBC.
That's a lot of placements.
Yeah.
So let's go back to layers here. If you've been to that many placements, obviously there have been issues for quite a while. Can you take me back to the start? Like, where it all started?
I think it started when I was about 7 years old in kindergarten. You know, I'd always come home and I'd be like, all these kids are immature, and they're the same age as I was. I'm like, I don't want to hang out with these kids, you know, all that. And I was always hard. I was hard to my mom because I'd come home with bad grades and she'd get upset. Me and my mom had a kind of a bad relationship. Then she'd get upset and she'd yell, and then I'd get mad or do something. I'll break something or something, and I'll get in trouble. And then it is on and off, and I've been in placements on and off. And I've been moved from household to household, from my dad to my mom's, my grandma's, because I always have trouble at home.
Do you know why you had trouble?
Well, I don't know. Just I grew up without feeling that my mom didn't love me. And then, you know, I think I've always felt that, you know, okay, you don't love me, so fuck you. You know, that's how I think I've always felt. But, you know, recently I've recognized that my mom, my dad, my grandma love me because, you know, if they didn't love me, they wouldn't come see me every Saturday. And, you know, when I was in court, that's the first time I seen my dad break down and cry. Yeah.
Was that hard?
Yeah, it was.
Were there ever any abuse issues issues in the house?
Nope, never. At all.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
I do now. I have a little brother who's 5. Well, he'll be 5 December 11th, so. And then I have a sister who's 10, and then another brother who's 7.
So you were sort of an only child for a while?
Yeah.
But were your mom and dad always together, or were they divorced?
No, they were never married, but they were together for about the first 4 years of my life, and then they separated. I see my dad probably every weekend, and then when I moved my mom's, no, when my mom moved up to Indy, I'd see her every other weekend. She'd drive down and get me.
Were you so were you in the child welfare system?
I was a chance for a little bit of time.
Do you remember how?
13, 14, and then 16. When I first got here, I was really immature. I got into probably 20 fights in my first couple months, and you know, I haven't had an actual fight since 9/27/11. That's 2 months ago. You know, I want to go home. My little cousin was recently diagnosed with leukemia, so yeah, and he's always asking where I'm at. So I'm trying to get home to him, be there for him.
You said when you were 7, you would hit your mom, but you were small.
Yeah.
But if you had those anger issues, I'm guessing that as you got bigger, there were some
I pushed her once, and then I got cops called on me, and then charges got pressed.
Did she call the cops?
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened that day? Can you remember how it all started? And what you did?
I really can't. I think it was arguing about me going to bed or something, and I said no, and she tried to grab me and push me into my room, and I pushed her back, and then she fell.
And then she called the police. What happened when the police got there?
They took me to the detention center in Newcastle, and I went from there. And then that's when my grandma came, and she got me. She took me to her house and let me in.
Did that make you more angry at your mom that she called the police on?
Yeah, it made me a little frustrated, but, you know, I stopped. I thought about it. You know, I didn't do anything else. I just went in my room and sat down.
And then what about after that? Were there a couple more incidents where you and her got into it?
We'd argue a lot, but I never done that again.
So that was the only time physically?
Yeah.
Did you have the urge?
Yeah, I've had a lot of urges, but, you know, I can't always act on that. It's not right to, you know, to punch my mom or push my mom.
How did she react when you pushed her or punched her? Was she crying? Was she?
Nah, she
What was the scene like?
She was mad. She was mad. She got up, you know, griping, got in my face, and I just walked into my room.
When you're with your grandmother, do you have a tendency then to kind of calm down?
Yeah. My grandma spoils me, so yeah. She bought me a laptop, a cell phone, a TV, PS3, all that. So yeah, she spoils me, and plus that's my grandma. I don't know how to explain it. She's overcaring, but you know, since I grew up with my mom and I never felt loved, that's a nice thing to have.
When you say you never felt loved by your mom, why is that? Did she just never?
She'd never talk to me and do anything with me. She would do her own thing, I'd do my own thing. You know, I'd be in the room playing Super Nintendo and she'd be in there watching TV. We'd never actually talk or anything, and have that bond with my mom. So I grew up thinking that she didn't love me and didn't care.
Do you ever remember a time when you felt close to her, or?
Recently, yeah. She comes every Saturday to visit me because she only lives 5 minutes away. And, you know, my grandma lives 2 hours away because that's London, Indiana, it's 2 hours away, and they all come see me. So I know she loves me. You know, it's just in the past, I've forgiven her for what she's done, and now she's forgiven me for what I've done in the past. And I think that we can build on that and, you know, have a healthy relationship.
Did you ever witness any sort of domestic violence in your house?
Never.
Just wonder where kind of the anger.
Well, my dad had anger problems when he was little, and he was in Plainfield. Because back then they didn't have placements. Because he's 57 years old, and they didn't have placements. When he was my age, he went to Plainfield. And I think it's genetic, I guess.
Did he talk about?
Yeah.
What were his issues?
He said he had a lot of anger issues, and then the defiancy. He didn't like listening to other people in authority.
And did he batter his parents? Or?
His mom, well, his grandpa, and used to be his dad and grandpa used to abuse him all the time. He lived with his grandma and grandpa, and they beat him up, and he slept in the garage in the cold and all that.
So he told you about?
Yeah. His mom, when he was a baby, his mom threw him through a glass window.
I'm sorry, can you say that?
When he was a baby, his mom threw him through a glass window, and so he's had a lot of emotional depression problems throughout his life.
Do you have a relationship with him?
Yeah.
Tell me about your relationship.
It's real good. Me and my dad, we get along. I mean, every once in a while we'll argue and stuff, but, it used to be really unhealthy, but, recently it's been healthier because, every time I get in trouble, I'll go over to his house and he'd bail me out of trouble. He'd call my mom or something.
Do you feel like there's anything that could have stopped you from getting in trouble? Something similar?
Maybe if I would have came here, or went to a Scared Straight program or something when I was little, it would have probably helped me.
And did you just feel like there weren't any consequences?
Mm-hmm.
You could just keep doing this kind of thing?
Yeah.
Did you ever?
Well, and to be sure, I felt institutionalized for a little while because I was going placement to placement. It wasn't nothing because I've been there before. But.
And so they say, these placements all stemming from when you hit your mom?
No, problems at school, fights at school, drugs, all that.
So tell me about the whole school.
Well,
Fights, drugs.
Well, at school, in high school, everybody does at least something, or unless, perfect student or the A's. And, mostly everyone drinks and smokes weed. That's really all I did, drink and smoke weed. But almost everybody does that. And then I get into a lot of fights at school because with me, I don't know, some people just make me mad. Like they'd like to test me because they think so I don't know how to say it. They think I'm soft, I guess, and they like to test me and stuff. And then I get into trouble. And my attitude when I was home was, I felt like I was the top of the world type stuff. Like I didn't care about nobody but myself. And I was really cocky and defiant. And I guess that made people mad, so they get mad at me. I got into like 3 fights at school, off and on. And I got expelled twice, and they let me come back.
Did it ever start out with you skipping school? Or?
I wouldn't. I'd try to say I was sick. My mom, go to school. No, I'm not going. And she wouldn't make me go.
She wouldn't?
Mm-mm.
I can't tell you how many kids who sat here and talked to you that said the same thing, that just woke up and didn't feel like going.
Yeah.
Can you explain how that?
I don't know. It gets old, the same thing every day. And then, I didn't feel like going through it in school.
Did you ever go to school and then just leave, skip, or?
No. I've never done that. But I lived on 234, and the school's on 234, so I could walk back and forth to school. I could have done that if I wanted to, but I didn't.
So there would just be days when kids felt going, so you didn't go. Like how many? Like are we talking?
Well, I'm talking about where they threatened to charge me with truancy, so if I missed one more day of school, so I had to go every day after that.
Talk to me about what you know about truancy, because a lot of kids have no idea. You can get arrested for truancy.
Yeah, you can't miss over 14 days of school. And, well, my school, you can't miss over 14 days of school, or they call the parole officer or something like that. And then they come to your house and they pick you up and put you in handcuffs and they charge you with truancy.
So that didn't happen.
Mm-mm.
You also talked about drinking and smoking. Tell me about when that started, when you started drinking.
My dad used to smoke weed and I'd steal his stuff when I was like 7 years old. 10. Yeah.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
see my dad doing it all the time, so I did it when he wasn't looking. And you know, my dad let me do anything I wanted to. He wouldn't say you can't do this. He would, but then if I said no, I'm doing what I want, he wouldn't push me to do it.
Did you want boundaries?
I did, but then I didn't. You know, because if I did have it, it felt like a normal household. But then if I didn't, you know, I'd be able to go and do whatever I wanted. Really, I really did get to do whatever I want, but there were certain limitations, you know.
Were you ever picked up or arrested for drinking under the age?
No.
Or marijuana?
Never.
So you were drinking and smoking, you just didn't get caught. How often would you drink or smoke?
I'd smoke every day, but I'd drink on the weekends when I partied with my friends.
And how old were you and how long did all that last?
Well, I like I said, I did it for a while when I was 17, but when I was 7, and I didn't start doing it again until I was 14.
So then at about age 14, you
Mm-hmm.
went back up.
Yeah.
And then would you smoke every day?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about, like, what do you do? Wake up in the morning, grab a joint?
Yeah.
Tell me about
I'd wake up, roll a blunt, and then go outside and smoke it because I'm not allowed to smoke in the house. Then I'd smoke a cigarette and I'd go back in.
And did you do this while you were in school too?
Yeah, I went to school high before. I do. Like I'm gonna say one time I was at the mailbox waiting for my bus to come because I have a long driveway, and I was sitting there smoking a blunt, and then the bus driver came through and he seen me. He's like, "What was that you smoking?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just a Black and Mild."
It's just a what?
A Black and Mild.
So you went to school high.
Mhm.
Did you get anything out of school at all?
Probably. Well, when I put my forth effort, I was a valedictorian for a couple years. So when I put forth effort, you know, I do good. But I really didn't put forth effort. I was always clowning and acting up. Like I got to the point where my teacher was afraid to send me out of class. But one day he got tired of it. Me and my dude, my friend Andy. People always ask if we was brothers because he looked just like me. And he was like, "Shut up, you fucking fat fuck! Shut up and get out of my class." And you know, this is one of the nicest teachers ever. You wouldn't suspect him saying that, but he's like, "I've had it with you two always acting up and disrupting my class." It's crazy, you know. But I just had I don't care attitude, you know.
So what's the last grade you remember completing?
10th grade.
Do you want to go back to school?
No, because I only have 4 credits. I know if I go back to school, I'm gonna be there till I'm like 19, 20. So I'm working on getting my GED. I take the GED test tomorrow. The essay.
What are you most afraid of when you get out of here?
What I'm most afraid of is that I won't pass the GED test, and then I'll have a hard time getting a job.
What do you want to do when you get out?
I don't know. I've thought about some stuff. I want to be. Well, my stepdad found a job for me. It's a bricklayer, and they make about $14 an hour when you start off, and when you end, you'll be a journeyman. It's a 4-year thing. It's like an apprenticeship job. And when you're a journeyman, you can make up to $30, $40 an hour. So I've thought about that, and then I might go to college on the side. I don't know what I want to go to college for yet.
And where are you planning to go when you do get out of here? Who will you be released to?
My mom in Fort Bend.
Does that scare you at all since you had issues in the past?
No, we're cool. We're the coolest people ever now. We're cool as hell. We're best friends now. So I know I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna do good.
Just a couple of clarifying questions. One was, how long have you been here?
I've been here about 7.5 months.
And are you on any meds for the stuff that they, like the
ADHD,
or the?
OCD?
Yeah, I've been
You can answer me.
yeah.
Tell me about what medications you might be on.
Right now I'm on Remeron and Wellbutrin.
For
Just the Remeron's to help me, my mood stabilization, and then it helps me sleep at night. And then the Wellbutrin, and they try to say I have depression. I really don't. I'm one of the happiest kids in here, and I take that for mood disorder.
have you been on meds pretty much your whole life?
Yeah. On and off. Meds.
Are you a different person when you're off your meds than when you're on?
I don't like meds. They make me. Well, these ones right here, they're okay, but most of them make me feel like I'm a zombie. I'm always, slow and my head's all lightheaded and stuff. I don't like that. So I'm happier off meds than I am on meds, but some of them do help, and some of them don't.
You plan on staying with your parents?
I plan on staying on my sleeping medication because I don't sleep at all at night. I have insomnia.
Have you always had insomnia?
Yeah. I know.
Last one. You said you finished Denver?
Mhm.
Girlfriends?
Nah, not really. I have a problem with commitment, so I'd get a girlfriend, then she found out I was cheating, then I get another one, and back and forth.
Do you see yourself as having a long-term relationship with a girl after you get out?
Well, I did for a while, but then I messed that up because she asked me to marry her, and I said no. Yeah.
Do you want to having gone through what you went through with your mom early on, where you felt like she didn't love you, are you afraid at all to have a long-term relationship?
Not really, because me, I'm not a big-headed person anymore. But I'm not gonna let it get to me if that does happen, and we fall apart. I'm not gonna let that get to me because I know there's always more people out there.